So in the last class, we have discussed, hello, so about the time variant property. And there we have seen that in data warehouse, we keep the data interval wise. And from this figure itself, that this is year, this is quarter, month, week, and you have seen that the products and revenue generated with respect to different quarters, and X2 is generating maximum revenue in the quarter Q2. So with this example, what I meant to say that this data in the data warehouse is time variant in nature. So different attributes of time are possible, like day name, like Monday, Tuesday, whatever it is, the day number in week, second day, third day, first day. Okay, then day number in month, day number in year, week number in month, week number in year, month number, month year, quarter number, year session, weekend indicator flag, weekday indicator flag. These are the different attributes of time. Then non-volatile. This means that the previous data is not erased when some new data is entered in it. Okay, so when we try to store some new data, this doesn't mean that the previous data will be overwritten or will be gone. That data will be there as it is, along with our new data. And do remember that here data is read-only. Data in the data warehouse is read-only and periodically refreshed. This also helps to analyze the historical data and understand what and when happened. It doesn't require transaction process, recovery, and concurrency control mechanism. মনত ৰাখিবা যে data warehouse যিখিনি আমি data ৰাখো, that data is read-only. So we don't need any concurrency control mechanism like we do in the case of DBMS. Okay, you know that in the case of DBMS, when concurrent transactions are going on, means simultaneous transactions are going on, then we need to have some concurrency control mechanism, right? But in this case, with respect to data warehouse, we do not need such type of concurrency control mechanism. Now, this is very important that what are the types of data operations that can be performed in the data warehousing. You know, we are very much familiar with the operations like delete, update, insertion in the case of what? In the case of our DBMS. আমি জানো delete, update, insertion এইবিলাক আমি ক'ত পাইছিলো? DBMS ত পাইছিলো আৰু কি অপাৰেশন পাইছিলো? DML পাইছিলো, TDL পাইছিলো, right? I hope you can probably remember those facts that we have already studied in the paper DBMS. But here in data warehouse, the case is something different. Activities like delete, update, insert, which are performed in an operational application environment are now omitted in the data warehouse environment. মানে আমি এই যে operation কৰিছিলো DBMS ত, and in the case of DBMS it is very important, right? যদি DML নাথাকে তেনেহলে সেই DBMS টো কোনো যদি DML টো সাপোর্টই নকৰে তেনে DBMS ৰ কোনো ভ্যালু নাই, কোনো কাম নাই, right? We have to manipulate our data. So that's why we need DML, data manipulation language, in the case of DBMS. But in the case of data warehouse, these things are omitted. Okay, so these are not allowed in the case of data warehouse environment. So if these operations are not allowed, then what are the operations that is being allowed with respect to data warehouse? And those are two types of data operations. They are data loading and data access. Okay, data loading, and data access are the two types of data operations that is being allowed with respect to data warehouse. So question ahibo pare the delete, is it allowed in the case of data warehouse? So answer will be no. Delete is not allowed. So what are the two types of data operations that is being permitted? And they are data loading and data access. Okay, buji pai goi asa sobe? Now,
Yes, sir.
okay. Why the data is static in data warehouse? This is again a very important interview-based questions frequently asked at the time of interview. Egita jikita mokolu ekhini interview homote hudhe. This questions are also asked in the interview, and similarly, these questions. Why the data is static in nature in data warehouse? As it is non-volatile database, once the data entered into the database, it does not reflect to the change which takes place at operational database. What does it actually mean? You just got to know that in the case of data warehouse, we usually omit some types of operations like delete, insert, update, right? So this directly implies that the data warehouse data is non-volatile in nature. So it is non-volatile means what? Once we enter the data into the data warehouse, then suppose from some source we are collecting the data and entering into that particular data warehouse. এনেকুৱা নহয় যে আমি ডাটা ডাইৰেক্টলি পাইছো, আমি ডাটাখিনি ক'ৰবাত ডিবিএমএছৰ জৰিয়তে তাৰ পৰা ডাটাবেছটো কালেক্ট কৰি পেলাই ইনচাৰ্ট কৰিছো. So in the case of database, in the case of our common database, data is being updated every day. What I can say, not just every day, but every minute basis. In fact, if it is a very important database, or if it is related to some big organization, university like that. Okay, 42 minute data sense hobo pare, 42 minute data update hobo pare. But যেতিয়া আমি সেই ডাটাখিনি data warehouse-ত insert কৰিম, তাৰ পাছত তোমালোকৰ database-ত যিয়ে change নহওক কিয়, that change is not going to be reflected in that data warehouse. Are you getting me what I mean to say? So what I mean to say is that data is static. Hello.
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Hello.
sir.
Oh, I don't know. I think it is being disconnected. Anyway, so what I was discussing, that why we call the data is static in the case of data warehouse. Data warehouse the data is static. It is just reason to call. I hope you have got it. That's why we call it static. Okay. It generates official keys or surrogate keys to store the history. Remember, history is very important with respect to our data warehouse. A surrogate key generated series of numbers. It requires more space. But what you need to consider in this slide is that the static nature of our data in the data warehouse. Now coming to the next property, that is integrated. What I mean to say that data warehouse satisfy the property integrated. This property allows you to collect the data and integrate the data with multiple database sources. Now, what does it mean? যিহেতুকে data warehouse আমি কি কৰো বেলেগ জেগাৰ পৰা data আনি পেলাই collect কৰো, right? It is not the case that in the data warehouse you are collecting the data only from one sources. It may be, but In maximum cases, we are collecting the data from different sources. You have your database, right? Database or pratumaloke data khini ani pelai rakhila. You have your Excel sheets, you have your Word documents, or you have your hard copy based records of data, right? So there are different sources of data. So we need to collect this data from these different sources and integrate them into that data warehouse. So integrate property mane hoise ami beleg multiple source or data collect kori pelai data warehouse rakha. And which is not in which is not satisfied if it is a case of RDBMS. RDBMS ot enukwa nohoy je beleg beleg source or ami collect kori pelai rakhisu. That is a single table we are concerning with that RDBMS. Now, this figure clearly depicts this fact. Different data sources are there, operational system, and some other flat files. Okay, and this is our data warehouse. Some technical terms are there like metadata, summary data, raw data, and from this data warehouse, users are being directly connected to this. Okay, users try to analyze the result that they got from the data warehouse business analytics. Okay. So a data warehouse is built by integrating data from various sources of data, such that a mainframe and a relational database. In addition, it must have reliable naming conventions, formats, codes, integration of data warehouse benefits in effective analysis of data. সহজ অৰ্থত তোমালোকে এইটোৱে বুজি পালা যে বহুত বেলেগ ডিফাৰেন্ট সোৰ্সৰ পৰা ডাটা তোমালোকে ডাটা ওয়্যাৰহাউসত ৰাখিব পাৰা okay now next property coming to the next property that is subject oriented by the term subject what actually we mean এই subject শব্দটোৰ পৰা আমি কি বুজো any idea well subject means particular domains. Like if you are talking about a company, okay, or an organization, that in that organization you will find, suppose, HR branch, IT branch, sales, marketing, right? Then R&D department. There are different departments are there, or you can say there are different subjects in that particular organization. So this data warehouse is a subject-oriented database. This supports the business need or individual department-specific user. Is a data warehouse আমি সদায় subject-or ওপৰত importance দিওঁ. Subject মানে যেনেকে মই কলো HR, sales, IT, suppose marketing. Okay, so we focus subject-specific data analysis in the case of data warehouse. It offers information regarding a theme instead of company's ongoing operation. These subjects, as I have just said, that can be sales, marketing, distribution, etc. Now, next question that is being usually asked in interview, that does a data warehouse put emphasis on current operations? Data warehouse current operations বিলাকত emphasis কৰে নাই গুৰুত্ব দিয়ে নাই the answer is what according to you the answer will be
No, sir.
no any idea why no just for guessing purpose that why no
sir current operations means
current operation মানে যেনেকে তোমালোকেতো DBMS create কৰিছা table insert কৰিছা মনত আছে নহয় এইখিনি কৰিছা যেনেকে delete কৰিছা drop কৰিছা update korisa, rename korisa. Okay, can you recall that or not? This operation?
Yes, sir.
Those are the current operations. Now, question is that data warehouse, is it emphasizing, giving emphasizing or emphasize on those kind of operations? যেতিয়া question সুধিব তোমালোকক তেতিয়া কিন্তু ভাঙি পাতি নকয় ডাইৰেক্ট তোমালোকক এনেকে সুধিব okay now answer is no of course any idea that why no
স্যাৰ মেইনলি কোম্পানীবিলাকে পুৰণা হেতৰ ৰেকৰ্ডবোৰ এনালাইজ কৰিবলৈহে মানে ডাটা ওয়্যাৰহাউসটো ইউজ কৰে সো কাৰেন্ট অপাৰেচনৰ ইমান দৰকাৰ নহয় চাগে হেতু
very good answer that is the answer of course because we actually want time variant data with respect to data warehouse analysis process. We don't need the current data. Okay. All of the agote মই তোমালোকক কৈছিলো non-volatile nature of the data warehouse data, right? All of the agote মই তোমালোকক কৈছিলো the static nature of the data in the data warehouse. So time variant property, history-based analysis of the data, these things means that we don't need the current operations. We need the data, some specific interval-wise and some history-based data. Okay. So a data warehouse never put emphasis only current operation. Instead, it focus on demonstrating and analysis of data to make various decisions. It also delivers an easy and precise demonstrating around the particular theme by eliminating the data which is not required to make the decision. And data warehouse is also subject oriented, so we focus on that specific subject required for the data analysis process. We just eliminate the others which are not going to help our decision making process. বুজি পালা মই কি কলো যে যিবিলাক ডেটা আমাৰ দৰকাৰ নাই যিবিলাক সাবজেক্ট হয় মই এতিয়া সাপোজ আইটি বেস এনালাইসিস কৰি আছো okay some ERP things I am trying to analyze for my organization. Do I need those marketing data? No, that ERP data is sufficient enough for my analysis purpose, so I don't need that data, so I'll eliminate that data. So I focus only on my subject ERP data. Okay, so I don't need the current operations based data. I need to focus only the historic based data. I hope this point is clear to everybody. Okay, can I assume so?
Yes.
Okay, look at the question here. You can answer it, but I'm currently stopping right here. That's all for today. Thank you.